Long before the cross, long before the church, long before salvation was reduced to a moment or a prayer, God began telling a story, not to save humanity through the law, but to awaken humanity to the truth that it needed to be saved. The Old Testament is not a record of people trying to reach God. It is the record of people discovering they cannot. It is the story of a wound so deep that no sacrifice, no ritual, no obedience, no striving could heal it. A wound that could not be covered by effort or erased by discipline. A wound that revealed itself in every generation, every failure, every exile, every cry of how long, O Lord. The law was never meant to fix that wound, it was meant to expose it. It was meant to show us the truth we spend our lives trying to avoid. We are lost without Him, not morally lost, not behaviorally lost, existentially lost. Lost in identity, lost in belonging, lost in the very place where the heart is supposed to rest. The Old Testament is the divine mirror held up to the human soul. It reveals the fracture we inherited, the ache we carry, the longing we cannot silence. It shows us that no amount of effort can restore what was broken in Eden. It shows us that the wound is not in our behavior, it is in our being. And yet, for all its laws and sacrifices, the Old Testament is not a story of failure. It is a story of longing, a story of God preparing humanity to recognize the one who would come to heal the wound from the inside out. A story of shadows pointing towards substance, symbols pointing toward union, covenants pointing toward a bridegroom. Every sacrifice whispered, "You cannot fix this." Every prophet cried, "You cannot save yourself." Every exile echoed, "You were made for a home you cannot return to alone." The law was not a ladder, it was a longing for the one who would not just forgive sin, but restore belonging. A longing for the one who would not just cleanse the heart, but claim it. A longing for the one who would not just redeem humanity, but marry it. But somewhere along the way, after the resurrection, after the apostles, after the first generations of believers, the church forgot the purpose of the Old Testament. Instead of seeing it as the divine ache that leads us to Christ, they turned it into a system to be explained, categorized, and controlled. They turned longing into law. They turned recognition into doctrine. They turned the ancient ache into an intellectual exercise. And in doing so, they unintentionally shrank salvation. They made it something the mind could grasp instead of something the spirit could remember. They made it something you could agree with instead of something you could belong to. They made it something you could define instead of something you could be united with. But the Old Testament refuses to be tamed. It refuses to be reduced to information. It refuses to be explained away. Because the Old Testament is not a textbook. It is a cry from the depths of humanity. We are not home. A cry from the depths of God. I am coming for you. Every covenant, every sacrifice, every prophet, every psalm, every exile, every return, each one is a thread in the tapestry of longing. Each one is a step toward the moment when the bridegroom would step into time and say, "I choose you." The Old Testament does not save us. It prepares us to recognize the one who will. It awakens the ache, it exposes the wound, it reveals the longing. It teaches the heart to wait for the voice it was created to know. And when that voice finally speaks, whether in a sanctuary or in the middle of a noisy, unholy crowd, the heart recognizes it instantly. Because the Old Testament planted the memory. The Spirit awakens it, and the bridegroom fulfills it. This is why the moment in the crowd mattered. It wasn't new, it was ancient. It was the echo of a story God had been telling since the beginning. A story written in blood, in covenant, in exile, and return, in longing, in promise. A story that leads every heart to the same realization. We were never meant to be saved by information. We were meant to be restored by union, and the Old Testament is the map that leads us back to the one who has always been coming for us.